radio check. Lurk at work is in the AO. Hello everybody. Welcome to the stream. Glad you can join us today for another round of art streams. Do you really call it art if the drawing is actually awful? Anyway, a bit of an update. Last time we were able to actually finish the fan art for the Livy Bell rather, from the Hololive fan game Super Holo Wars. Bit of a trouble with that, as you might know, because we spent a good time just getting stuck on certain parts and not advancing much. Well, since then I did manage to get some stuff in and out. And sometime before the start of the stream, I did manage to start working on the cut-ins, and for that first I had to go with Fukuki-san over here on the upper left of the screen. Not much to write home about, I'm afraid, but we are getting somewhere. I'm not too sure how far we're going to get today, actually. But as much as possible, I'd like to get Fubi-san's piece done, and then we can go down here to Mio-san's pace. This is how it looks like with the Lily Bell on. So the idea is that Fubi-san will be on the back there. Hang on. So basically, the idea is we're going to put Fukuki-san in the back there, and then Mio Mama over here superimposed over the Livy Bell, so that part of the leg will not be visible once the full piece is on. So, I'll try as much as possible to get Fukuki-san at least done today, but I'm not really making any promises since I get stuck everywhere. So for now, let's go ahead and do that. As you might see on the screen, though, it does say that I will be mostly quiet for today, unfortunately, as I try to focus on things. So let me just focus on this for now and give try to comment wherever I can, as is the usual. For now, let's go ahead and do our drawing. Hang on, give me a second. feel like I'm gonna be stuck in the with much of the upper part here. Let's go with braid here. Night and a very rough morning because of fitful sleep and try to get a nap in. But it was very intermittent, and things have not been good since then. So something's very well about there. Should I? No, I think I should adjust it to be more concave rather than convex. Second. It's 1, 2, 3, right? This the second one should be around this height, which means this one's too small. I can't quite get that enough. this is frustrating because I seem to have forgotten how to properly do hair braids. That's great. That's real great. Ow. Maybe I should fix the hair on top first. That's confusing me. So if we're here, it's actually very thick. Something like that, maybe, but I gotta get the angle right. It's gotta be narrow towards the bottom. See, we're stuck in the minor segments again. Every single time this happens when I do a stream on drawing, I always get stuck on something minor. How low was that? Oh, that is pretty low. So there's that. And that's when we do the braids, I think. fairly messy sometimes. The very rough sketch in the back is kind of confusing me. But I still need it as a guide to see how far I should be going first. Because if I put the line art for the Louis bell here, I get confused even more. The last segment has a wider segment down there. Yep, something like that. That doesn't seem natural. How? Oh. Now it's got some more stuff on the lines there. Some extra hands here. I'm also supposed to put some hands here because she's like trying to wipe off a tear of blood because she's been laughing too much. But I'll just probably have to erase these lines here under the hair. We're not gonna put it above the hair. Maybe. We're just gonna use their defaults because that's what they are depicted in the game. So no no fancy extra palette stuff. Much as I'd like to add my own touch to that, I've already gone too far with the Livy Belt as is. Oh my god. Oh, sorry about that. Is it? I think that's enough. Putting it a little too thick. Maybe we should make it a bit thinner. Maybe. That's a little too thin, I think. No, well, I think we can go with this. Maybe not. I don't feel right giving her a thin neck like that. Fine. Just a bit to the left. Okay, hair. Time for some hair. Okay, something like that. We need some sort of body to the hair. Instead of being just somewhat flat down like a hand princess. Should make that a bit bigger. Dang it. Well, number 1 should be bigger, so I guess we should fix it. This is the one that needs fixing. let's move it outside first, yeah, like that. Maybe we can enlarge that? That could work. Then we can adjust everything else accordingly. It's too big. Something like that could work. So I just need to make this slightly larger so that it looks a bit closer to how it should be. We can move these. How does it look with the adjustment here? We're gonna have to erase some. Is it a nose height? Like nose level? Okay, I think it is nose level, something around there. I think we should do this manually because when you upscale it like that, kind of loses some sharpness for some reason. I still have not fixed that. I've checked some of the notes on Keyta on how to adjust images when you want to make them larger without losing clarity, image clarity or some such. I've yet to do it properly. How does this look now? Ooh, yeah, that looks much better. Almost same height too, which is actually correct. That's great. Just need to adjust that. So something like that. And this guy has to go. Poof! Excellent. Now I don't know how I'm gonna put the hand here later. But we'll work on it later. Let's just focus on the hair here first. Hang on. should be able to find something. Come on, I know you have something I can use here. Reference points. It's too hot tonight, too hot. Come on, there's gotta be something over she's giggling. Whee! I gotta be moving around years. Well, I don't see it right now, so. Maybe we can adjust this a bit more. Just keep it like that then. What next? So we'll focus on the right side here first. That's where. Is that a hoodie? Is that supposed to be a hoodie? I've actually never seen this part of Fukuki-san's dress go up before. Like for real. I have no idea if it's actually a hoodie or it's just designed to look like a neckerchief combination or some such. Although, considering these strings, I'm going to assume that is supposed to be a hoodie and not some sort of giant sailor thing. So, let's go for the hair. Wait, but there's this though. Fine, let's go with the dress first. Come on. it. My sense of the perspective is being warped right now. Not good. Okay, so it's a bit wider and a bit more. Okay, the neck might have been a little too high. I have to trim that down a bit. That's not a bit, dude. Come on. Well, technically it is. Dang it. Gonna have to adjust it so that it doesn't look like the neck's overly long. That seems about right, maybe. Oh. Hoodie thing, which I'm still confused about. I'm very confused because oh, so that's how it looks. There's like parts of her hair that no, it's not parts of her hair. The hoodie is just weird like that. It's actually her full tuft of hair over here, and this segment is just an already diving behind this segment of hair on the front, which is why it's confusing. What else should I have done here? Why did I forget that? Where is it? Yeah, something like that. Yes! Oh no, it's starting to look absolutely perfect. Witness the thickness of the hair. Well, that doesn't seem right. Dang it. Witness the thickness. Okay, that could work somewhat. Well, you have to make it a bit longer, but you get the idea. so long that I totally forgot about the titles of which particular BGMs have particular titles. Okay, now that looks right now though. Yay. This one though needs to be adjusted because that's a bit wrong. No, I can't get it out of my head, but I don't actually remember the title for that one. Dang it. Something like that for that one. Hang on. Excuse me. Other hoodie, I think. Hang on a second. Let me just grab something to drink. It's getting really hot right now, so I might pass out if I don't get a drink. So give me a second. Is it so hot? Are we like a 95 or something? 95 on a mid-evening thing, that's gotta be a bit of a scare. It looks like she has some sort of stump instead of a hand. There's something like that, but this looks like she has mitts on, so I have to adjust that properly. Yeah, so maybe something like that. Adjust it properly, and we would have her left hand ready to rock. Hang on, something like that, right? So come in like that, then that. No, it has to be angled in further in. Something like this. What else would be funny with this? She has sleeves, the detached sleeves, because you're not Japanese Japanese Shinto associated character unless you have detached sleeves. Toho has proven that time and again. I think we'll just stay with this one we already did. We'll have to adjust it so that it's proper proportions and all that stuff. Just delete this. Actually, we can keep it like this then, maybe. get the thumb now. Something like this. Then line here with this. That's not how it works. I have to adjust this. Probably adjust this here as well. Then drop it down here. Yes, look at this. Oh, hang on a second, something up here. Hang on. Ooh, is it that time of the day already? It's very nice. Yes, look at this. I can work with that actually. Now, hang on, let me just. Now let's add those sleeves. Oh right, don't forget, we need to, since we're going to make it look like a cut-in, there has to be a border here, so we need to remember where the border is. So just to be on the safe side, I think I'm going to put a layer here. It's just a test board test first, so that we don't go overboard when drawing, because we're just going to put a border here for the cut in for Fubuki-san, and then we're going to make one for Miho-san, which is in front of the Libby Bell instead. So it's test Miho. And it has to be. It doesn't have to be that. It just has to be the same length as Foob's, I think. So somewhere around this area. Can we just copy Foob's? Okay, delete this. This is gonna be Neo. Come on, man. And we can adjust it as we see fit. Same angles, so somewhere around here. No, it's too big. Go! Perfect. Something like that. And then when we put the Livy Bell on, we gotta put them for a twist up there though. If we put the Livy Bell, it will look like this. So this part has the Livy Bell up front, but over here it's gonna be where Mio is up front instead. So that's nice. That's very nice. We're going, and we're doing some very decent progress actually. Okay. I have to make the sleeve. But with this in the way, we can actually focus on getting the hair done properly, as well as parts of the sleeves. Did I get that right? That's a little too far. No, this angle seems to be correct, I suppose. How do we get... Maybe... do I want to make her bigger? Because I feel like this should be... If we make her bigger... Be in line with Mio over there. I wonder. Let's see if we can upscale her a bit. Since without the sketch rough... Yeah, okay, maybe slightly bigger. And then have Mio down here, since Mio's gonna be a bit smaller. Yeah! Yes, live with this! That also is a bit of cheating, because we don't have to draw the full left hand, and just a hint of the sleeve. So that we can just go and cut through. Yes, that could work, I think. Dang it. And then I will have to... put this... let's just keep it that way. Kind of looks funny, but still. We'll probably change it once the colors are in. Was it? No. Keep it like that. How do I do this hoodie thing? It has to be slightly longer in this one. Yeah, okay, that works. Hang on. That's not how it works. Well, never mind. I got distracted. That's not good. I'm confused about the hoodie. Oh, okay, that overlaps there. Okay, somewhere on the chin size and somewhere in here. Where does the curve begin? Oh, it's on the intersection between the neck and the shoulders, or somewhere around here. We did get that right the first time. Just gotta have to make it slightly larger. Maybe I made it a little too far. Let's put it a bit closer. Okie dokie. Okay, a bit further lower. I get that angling right? No, I did not. Dang it. Oh, it was slightly upward. Dang it! Is it big? Okay, it's more like some sort of semi-pentagon, or past the pentagon stage already. How many sides is that? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's a hexagon, but it's pushed up. Weird. It should be angled towards this. Ooh, let's go. That's too wide. That fox pin is kind of funny. so it's okay. Got the angle wrong, and I think that's too small. Yeah, it is too small. It has to be bigger. Dang it! It's even... I can't get the shape right, and can't even get the size right. So how to shape on this thing? Okay, somehow the same size, it's just the shape is awfully bad. Assuming that's how it goes. Something like that. Should have been a bit more down here instead, I see. Ow, ow, ow. Ooh, I think I twisted my neck a bit. Oh, the angle's off! Dang it, do I have to restart that? Fine. Does it look like a Discord icon at this point? I feel like it does. Make a peak around here. That's not a peak. That's a round top. I can't get it right. Why can't I get it right? could work somehow. Is it big enough? I feel like I should make it bigger. No, I think it's already the right size. Yes, that works. Wait, is it the right size? Just overlapping it to give it a bit more sharpness or some such. Yep, that should do it. Yes, that's the right size. And boom. Ow. Wait, something's off. There was something off there. Dang it. That should work somehow, but I'll have to fix that via coloring. Is that correct? Maybe I should clean this guy up first. don't forget to put the adjustment strings over here, because it is, after all, a hoodie that she rarely puts on anyway. Put that here. No, that's too thin. And add some lines here to make it look like it's actually inside out. Is that right? Possibly. Okay, that should work. Now let's get that other part of the neckerchief on, and then we can... Oh, I forgot this part too. Does that look right? Somewhat. I'll take it. Better than nothing at this point. But we won't be able to draw the detached sleeves because they are covered by the border, so... It's fine. And the hands will be covered anyway, so I think that should be okay. Well, whatever. Next target will be more of these. So that's going to be the lower end of. Off. Can't be right. No, it should be the same angle at least. A bit more angling would be nice. How far down is that? Not that far. We can actually. Now shouldn't be rounded. That should be enough, right? No, it still needs to be lower. Dang it. hair has to be covered. Ooh, we're actually getting somewhere there. Now, I feel like I might have put Foob's left ear a little too far. Fox ear a little too far, rather. But I feel like it actually works as is. So I wonder if I should keep it or move it. Maybe later. Check something real quick. So that's how it's shaped. it's too thick. There we go. And then put some lines here again. But did I get that right? Somehow or other I did. Which means this should be... This is for the full, neckerchief. This is for me. Yes. Perfect. Ooh, yes. I think that's good. Oh boy, yes, that is a major improvement from a couple of years ago, I have to say. And the question is, will the colors actually make it pop out? Because if you've checked out my Pixiv account before, you will realize I've already actually done a Fubuki fan art long ago, and it was questionable. Well, it's Fubuki cosplaying as Fubuki from Kankoli, if you still remember that. Yes, it's still running. It's just not as it's not as pronounced as the other ship girl based game these days, mostly because it's very, how shall we say it, domestic market focused. Even after like over a decade of being in the running, it's very domestic focused, unlike that other game, which is probably not helping its popularity. And then there's also the fact that it's a card-based. It's like a trading card game instead of an action-based game, which some younger players aren't exactly fond of. Although it does have an action game, but it is also domestic market focused, and it is an arcade game, which is kind of a shame because I feel like it has superior game mechanics and has some unique command and control abilities that you can use as well. So, you know, if you're lucky, you might find some what do you call it? Personally, or rather, specially imported cabinets of that of Cancolia's arcade game, but I don't think there's a lot of them anymore. It's been several years since I heard any news about that, and the complimentary cards would provide you with your own ships are also not provided, I think. But then again, it was a co-production with Sega, so you might remember with many Sega games they also sell cards as part of the cabinet deal, although in some markets apparently they don't, which is kind of funny. But yeah, that was just a tangent, but that was the fan art I did back in the day of Fubuki-san as Fubuki. Well, Fubuki Kai-ni, I think, because I think she, or the image I use as a reference, had the add-ons with the upgraded uniform and the extra torque tubes. Also changed the superstructure. Yeah, I think since it has the red trim, that is definitely the Kai-ni version. That's what I prefer actually when it comes to ship girls. Really, a lot of the younger video game players these days prefer voluptuous ladies with very fancy magical stuff like gigantic summons and all that stuff. As far as ship girls go, I still prefer those that you can actually wear. Like if you go to a cosplay convention and you see a ship girl cosplayer, I'd prefer that the ones they wear look semi-practical, the type that you can actually add like some sort of body kit or armor set instead of being some sort of super magical summon or some such. Which is why I kind of like Cancoli's take on carriers. Almost all Japanese carriers use longbows, with some very notable exceptions. Like for example, Ryujo and Unryu, for example, use summoning scrolls, but that's mostly because they're more like, well, Ryujo's army, so there's a bit of Ryujo's navy, but she's also somewhat a smooth flat top type, so they kind of wanted to give her a different launching option instead of the longbow. And there's Onryu, whose name is Cloud Dragon, if you remember correctly, and because of that, her design is kind of very Eastern Oriental style. So instead of just a standard, Eastern Oriental fantasy style kind of thing, so instead of just a standard longbow, she also uses summoning scrolls. And then we have Taiho, who is supposed to be a next generation carrier design. So instead of conventional longbow, she has a repeating crossbow instead, which is also very neat. And then when you look at the carriers from other countries, you get the Brits with their compound bows, and then the Italians with the short bow, and then we got the Americans with their guns. And apart from a few, what shall we say? Apart from a few standouts, a lot of their kits are very practical and not super fantastical. Like, I know Cancoli, the anime, well, the game and the anime might be a bit over the top sometimes, but there was one sequence from the original anime that I really liked, and which I think is superior to other ship girl based games. During a sortie order, emergency sortie order actually, Akagi-san and Kaga-san do not just magically manifest their hardware, even though canonically there are fairies in Kankoli, right? But instead of having to magically summon their stuff, they instead go to a launch deck, complete with catapults and markers, and then they get their kit on during the launch platform. So instead of being just magical girls with big hardware on them, they actually equip the hardware like mobile suits actually. And that's what I like about Cancoli. You know that a good deal of the hardware they use are, well, like actual real-life military hardware that they have to maintain, even with the magical fairies in the mix, yes. And also, a lot of doujinshi revolving around, well, daily lives and combat instead of, well, building a harem with the admiral, actually looks into how a lot of the weapon parts are handled practically. So you have maintenance crews, researchers, armament specialists, the usual Navy and self-defense staff. Actually, like, looking into things, and then there's instances where some of those ship girls aren't spirits, were actually just volunteers who just have some sort of compatibility with the hardware, and they volunteer to test the hardware out themselves, which I think is neat. And then there's also the large number of fan art that depicts the Cancoli ship girls working alongside modern Navy and, in some cases, Coast Guard equipment. And I think that's one of the neat stuff there. And then there's also a couple of fan art depicting them working in real-life situations, assisting the locals. Mostly, I'm talking about Yefan Sensei's art. Who made a couple of fan art back in a couple of years ago, probably around the time of the pandemic, with ship girls working in assisting with the pandemic relief operations. And then there's also her fan art of several of the ship girls working alongside Australian fire and rescue services during the Australian wildfires from the early 2020s. And those kinds of ship girl fan art are the ones that I really, really like. Like, sure, I do appreciate some of the fan servicey types, but for me, the real fan service is seeing them using their hardware in a real life situation, not just for combat, but also for disaster relief and search and rescue and all that stuff. It's really neat because you can actually see even the ferries using miniaturized fire bombers, which is actually pretty nice. Like miniaturized sea otters, I think. Well, it was really fancy. Like there's also several fan art of ship girls using modern equipment, miniaturized modern equipment, alongside their own hardware, which is actually very nice. Well, not like the tactical ship girl types. There's a lot of them, and I also like them, but I'm not talking about them specifically. I'm talking about the like when they're using miniaturized modern 5-inch modern 5-inch. What guns do they use these days? The 5-inch 54 caliber Mark 45s being used by some of the ship girls, well, some of the American ship girls sometimes, or the multiple instances of fan art of Iowa using her or being equipped with tomahawks and harpoons, and also some of the ship girls using their using equipment currently carried by their modern equivalents like Kaga. I'm pretty sure one of the official variants of Kaga in the game also equips the modern kit, well, somewhat, like, visually similar to the modern kit being used by Kaga herself. Well, the JS Kaga, that is. That's the kind of fan art for ship girls I really like. And I hope they continue to do that because, sadly, there's just too much skin these days. I know they're really great and they actually sell, but I wish a lot of them. I wish that a lot of Milota fans still do a lot of fan art of ship girls actually using their hardware instead of using their skinware. Like, come on, there's a lot of scenarios where you can use them now. Not even including real-world scenarios, because that's going to be a little close to home, but... just actually put them in sorties and expeditions or some such, and don't make them look like they're using super magic stuff. Well, I mean, there's Renzo Kun and a lot of the other parries and all that, but still, there's a lot of great hardware you can highlight. Focus on that first. Ooh. So how do we do this? Then there's also just remember, a lot of people used to give Shibafu flack, Shibafu Sensei for a flack for, you know, the Shibafu village face. From the old days of Shibafu has a lot of the girls looking like, well, honestly, potatoes, which is such a big meme that even well-known fan artists would actually reference it from time to time, and I think even Shibafu Sensei actually acknowledged that they also make same faces very extensively. I remember the days when Intrepid came out and a lot of the old-timers actually complaining about how the face actually looks very, well, potato-ish, and, well, I think hang on. I think Shibafu Sensei actually acknowledged that a lot of the stuff that he does, or they do, not too sure if Shibafu Sensei, the guy or girl, a lot of the stuff they do are definitely the same face, and, well, in more recent years when they started releasing official art for some of the American cruisers that were introduced recently. The same facing has improved somewhat, so they're now very distinct. Dang it. Dang it. Is it long? No. Dang it. Okay, that could work somewhat. Alright, now... Oh wait, no. So the sleeve also goes up towards the... above the elbow, so... I'll put some here. No, that can't be right. we really did just get stuck on Foobs. That's kind of sad. I was thinking about maybe we can get started on Mew as well, but... hang on. Excuse me. The hand's a little too thin. We don't have it. Never mind then. Let's roll. No, that can't be right. Something's off. Why does she not have a ref sheet? This can't be right. The only one they have here is for... no. The old models, that's pretty much it. Well, not the old models, for everybody, but not the full sheet, which kind of sucks. Well, I guess that leaves us with no choice. Oh. That's what I was supposed to do. How does it look like here? Oh, there's an extra line there. That's something. That's excessively big. Well, no, too small actually. Dang it. I definitely need some connection over here first. Yes, 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 something like that. And then we go for the sleeves, and then we can probably call it in for the night. Come on! that kind. Okay. What? Excuse me. Next will be something longer. There's got to be a bit of a split there. No, come on, man. Ooh. Ah, there's a bit of an offline here. Gonna have to adjust the hand. Or the arm. Probably adjust this instead. Slight adjustments. fine. Okay, I think with just a few minor adjustments here and there, we are done with Fubuki-san. Okay, just a couple of stuff here. There we go, I think. Dang it, there's something off about this segment here. Some of these here. Yes, something like that. Yeah, I think I can be very, very satisfied with how we got Foobs here. We adjust this a bit more though. Didn't actually expect to get this far with Foobs Day. I was expecting it to be a bit more complicated, but considering that she is just a cut-in, this might be enough for now, and I think that works for her needs. So just let me finish these. And we'll adjust it as we go. Wait, hang on, let me just turn it a bit. Boom. There we go, and then let's add some more here. Yes! Oh, live with this. Yeah, I think we are done with Foobs, actually. Surprisingly, didn't miss. Didn't actually expect to at least get to the arms today, but, well, we actually got really, really far, and I think that's something to be proud of. Now I just need to add some more details here on the interiors here. There we go. Yeah, that should be how it goes. And with that, I think we are done with Foobs for now. Okay, let me just clean something up here. Dang it. Always something forgotten. Every single time. But yeah. Didn't actually expect to get to Foobs get Foobs out here with this much detail today, but I think it's a good sign that we actually got done with her now, which means it'll be easier to handle Mio-san once we get to her next week. I just have to clean these up afterwards, and we'll be able to move along more effectively later. For now, thank you so much for dropping by once again. I hope you enjoyed watching me struggle with drawing. It wasn't much really, especially with the details and all that, but I think that would be a good sign, maybe, that we are improving ever so slightly. Oh! Dang it, I didn't see Rob full at the message chart at all. I am so sorry, I was a little too focused on getting the lines done, and I did not even notice that you were already on chat. Dang it! That was 10 minutes ago, though. I am so sorry. Dang, I hope you're still catching things. Well, I think everybody's gone away now, so... And this is what you get when you're not checking the chat on your OBS. Always have that problem. Dang it. Well, that's a lesson learned. I will endeavor to keep the chat on primary box before drawing. I wish I could have a timestamp to know when you were chatting so I could have seen you earlier. But, that's on me for not paying attention much. Dang it, dang it! Any hoot. Well, besides those errors, I think we did manage to finally get something done fairly well here. Hopefully next time when we get through this line, we'll have a better result with Mio and probably finish up on the line art and then finally focus on getting the colors done in. Hopefully by then you can also drop by again, and maybe by then I can actually pay attention to the chat and actually see people checking in. I think this is also the problem. Also here is that I have two streams up at the same time. I'm still having trouble balancing multi-streaming, especially with just one monitor and all that. Nonetheless, I hope that could be, I hope we can still get through with some more streaming next time. For the time being though, if you got any complaints or valid reactions about the stream tonight, I would really be grateful if you can share your thoughts with me on Twitch, or you can I hope you can drop a line on my Twitter or my Pixiv about what you think about the stream. If you got a hankering for other streams that have expired here on Twitch, I would really be grateful if you can check the VODs linked in the About tab of my profile page, and also searchable on YouTube under the same username. That's Lurk at Work, work with a U instead of an O. Dang it. Dang it. I'm still hung up on the fact that I didn't check the message board again. Every single time. I already have multi-chat on, and I still cannot monitor both of my streams, my stream chats properly. Hopefully Ruffle can still drop by next time, and we can probably chat about drawing stuff and all that. Anyway, if you're currently checking the VOD, yeah, thanks for dropping by, and sorry that everything was a mess. Didn't even notice the chat there, and then most of the lines were pretty messy. Hopefully we can work up on that soon, once we go into Mio's side of things. And hopefully that wouldn't bother you much. Would be nice if you could drop by on as well. I swear I do not purposely ignore people who chat, and it is just me having to juggle multiple streams at once. Even with the multi-chat on, I still struggle. That's me being terrible at multi-chat stuff. I hope you can catch a live stream still, but if circumstances prevent you from doing so, that's understandable. Any view on this stream is a bit of help for me. But I'm not too sure you might find this interesting. Anyway, speaking of the channel, if you got a friend who might be interested in the stuff I stream or who just wants to complain about PNG streamers in general, I would really be grateful if you can share my channels with them. Twitch.tv/lurk@work and lurk@work on YouTube. Well, that's all from me for now. Tomorrow is going to be a break day, so there's that. We'll probably catch each other again on Monday once we start on Mio-san's art segment, cut-in segment, whatever. I'm still hung up on that mistake earlier. I should get a rest so I can refocus myself. Well, that is what the break day is for. Lurk at Work is now RTB. If you're on Twitch though and you're still in the mood for something, I can send you over to somebody who's doing an after birthday stream apparently. So that might be interesting. But if you're heading out for the night just like me, I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. Thanks again for watching. And I'll see y'all when I see y'all. Good night for those who are heading out, and stand by for those who are about to be sent over.